morning! How are you doing? I hope you had a good evening and I hope your day is going to shape up to be a good one. Today we are sorting out the rest of this. So we're going to cut the leather, we are going to glue it to the case, and we're going to do all the accoutrements also. Right, so what you're going to need today is you're going to need everything we made yesterday. You're going to need your leather. You're going to need something to cut that leather with. You are going to need some glue. And you're going to need some extra bits. These are technically optional, but I'm going to do it to mine to make it look pretty. You can use rivets. Ooh, let's put those down. You can use rivets to attach this. You're gonna need, you could use some trim to cover up the seam lines. I'm going to be using some dye on this leather, and I'm also going to be using some paint to zhuzh it up a little bit. The other things you might need, probably will need if you're going to use these, you might need a little anvil or something to get inside these parts, and a hammer. Oh, and you're also going to need a little button stud to sort out some sort of hinge, catch, clasp situation. And a Sharpie. So first things first, we want to cut these bits out. Remember that snazzy leather? I remember that snazzy leather. I'm going to mark the back only because I don't want to ruin the front. And I'm going to use, is any of that in shot? It is. Oh, crikey. I'm going to lay this out here, like so. These are the pieces that I'm going to need to cut. I'm going to avoid all these holes. And we're going to cut two lids. Lids and caps, whatever you want to call it. Cute cogs. Right, there we go. So that's all the pieces cut. No, they're not cut yet. For goodness sake. They are drawn. Ready to go.
You drew them out?
I drew them out. I'm going to cut them now. And there, my friends, we have it. All the pieces are cut now. So now, optional extra. I'm going to dye this red because I think it would look better. But you don't have to. You know, this is your scroll case. You do what you like. I just want to do this. So I'm going to move these bad boys out of the way. Get my dye, and I'm going to dye it. I did do a little colour test on this earlier as to how it would come out, and I just think that looks cooler, you know. So, yeah, going to do that. The dye I'm using is Fibing's leather dye. It's kind of like an oil-based dye, and a little wool dauber. So I'm going to get it all in here. Okay, so this is now dry. The dye is kind of dried. It's a little bit. So here we are. The next part is to get these two pieces onto these two pieces. You ready? Excellent. I wonder where the rivets were hiding. You want to get your glue. You want to take the lid off it. Then you want to take the interior lid off it because you forgot that it had one. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover both sides that are going to go together. Does that make sense? The bits that are going to be touching need glue on them. Right? Does that make sense? Oh, yeah, clear as mud. So, with contact adhesive, you put glue on both parts, wait for it to go touch dry, and then you press them together. Fun fact, with contact adhesive, sort of Evo stick and this glue, you can reactivate it if it goes too dry with a hairdryer. Don't like overheat it, but because it will start to bubble and it will delaminate. But you can, if you've left it a little bit too long and it don't want to stick, give it a little zhuzh over with a hot hairdryer. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. You're there. Re-sticky. Now for the exciting bit. This is where it's going to get tricky because you want to make sure that this goes on right square. The thing with contact adhesive is once it is stuck, it is stuck. There's no like take backsies really. You can't reposition it while it's like if you make a mistake, it's kind of, you have to start again. So the stakes are high, but not too high. It's nothing you can't handle. Now we need to do the same thing with the main body. How crazy is that? I'm also going to suggest that you run a scalpel just along this edge, just to make sure you're taking all the extra leather off. Again, it's because it's supple and it stretches a little bit. You want to make sure that this edge that sits on top is going to be flush. So we've done it. I've done it the wrong way around, like a fool, but there we go. It's like that now. So, sorry. Here we go. We've covered the tube. The tube is indeed covered. How good is that? We've covered the top. The top is also covered. Look at that. Madness.
What's next?
The next part is these. What we're going to do is we're going to stick that circle bit together in the same method as the rest. My hands are so pink. And we're going to do it again on the bottom. And then there will be some magic, because we're going to stick these all around like this. You got that? Good. Then I shall get out some more tools that I forgot to show you, and we will continue. So now we're going to stick that last bit of ribbon down, like that, and I am going to do the same on that one. And then I'm going to glue each of these and glue them around, pulling them down so that they stay. So, now we've got this all stuck down, nice, lovely, ready to go. The trim is on, the leather's on upside down, the lid's flipping excellent, there's only one thing left to do. What we're going to do next is we're going to get out a tool that I did not tell you about. It is a drill. And what we're going to do is we're going to drill these little holes. Now, I did also suggest that we might be riveting these parts. If you're clever, or perhaps if you're stupid as well, you'll be able to see that we're probably not going to be doing that. Because try as I might, there's pretty much nothing that is going to reach down into this tube. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue some rivets, just the cap parts, on top. Basically this is all glued and is secure anyway, so it doesn't really need them. They're just there to kind of tidy it up a little bit, do you see? But due to the way the stalk is, they will stick out a little bit if I don't drill a hole. So bear with me, I'm going to do that and then we shall reconvene in a minute. So this is the near final result on that. I don't have any super glue present, but that's pretty easy to acquire, and I will do, and I will glue these in properly. Here we go, here is where we are. So we've got a lid, we've got a bottom, we've got the sides done up, the top's on. How exciting. So now, it originally escaped my attention, but in order for this to stay on here, we're probably going to need a little collar that goes on the inside. Just like that. And then that will help keep this part on top. You follow? It's making the collar. This is exciting, isn't it? We can use that little pattern we made for the top cover, right? But it's going to need some editing. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it into a ring, and then we're going to slide it on in, and we're going to expand it so that it fits in nice and snug. Then you've guessed it, you want to take that Sharpie, you just want to mark off where that edge ends, and then we can just fold this over, and then that is the piece that we need. Now I'm going to cut mine out of some thicker leather. I've got it scrapped here. Ba-ba-da-ba. And I'm just going to cut that out of the straight side. So there we go. We're going to glue that in just so. What we're going to also do is we're going to bevel this top edge so that it sits, when you come to put this bleeding thing on, you're not faffing around with it like an idiot. Oh, that is a tight fit. If you're savvy, you can get away with doing this with a scalpel, but I've got a special tool for it, so I'm going to use this. Is that too big?
No, that's fine.
Just as an aside, I am just going to drill that hole there because I've realised, if I'm not careful, the button stud is going to be way too thick. These things, they come in two halves, like this.
Can't see it.
One's a little screw, and the other is the button part, and then they screw together, like so. So next, that's how that fits on. Nice and easy. Nice and easy lemon squeezy. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make the straps. I'm going to make the strap that means that this can come on and off. and I'm going to make a fastener that comes from here to here and keeps this on. Right, so there's going to be one here that does this and allows for movement, and there's going to be one here that's tight and pops over this button stud. So I've got this lovely thin stuff which will be supple enough that it's going to allow for that extra movement and still be strong enough to pop down over the button stud. So now we're going to paint it, finally! That thing that I said I was going to do about half an hour ago. I'm going to paint it. I've got here some gold leather paint. Dry brushing a little bit of gold to pick up all the detail on the leather. I say dry brushing, it's actually not very dry brush, but it's doing the same thing. I'm just using a little bit of that gold and pick up the details. Just make it look a little bit more dragony. It's like a dragon hide scroll case. What do you think, Matt?
Very nice.
Just gonna set this rivet. I'm using this rebar? This round bit of metal as an anvil that will fit inside here. And I'm just gonna bash it as square as possible. This part has got to go in here and come out of this hole. It's going to be tricky. There we go. Then we need to get this part there we go. That's riveted just behind that gold part. That goes down onto there. And this falls over here and finishes the whole case. Ignore the bits where the rivets I haven't glued in yet have fallen out. So yeah, there we go. We're all done. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? This was fun. I really enjoyed making this, actually, believe it or not. I may have overdone the gold. Oh well. Oh dear. Well, I guess that's just going to have to be in the back of the shots from now on. We'll put that.
I feel like it's getting to the point you just need to add a plus.
Perfect. No one will even notice. So there, that's been me for day 15 and 16?
14 and 15?
14 and 15. 14 and 15. They're all blurring into one. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope you get inspired. I hope that this has been helpful. See you tomorrow.